My favourite story about the Christmas Truce is there was a territorial officer. So his day job, he was a languages master at Eton. And he taught French and German, and he had lived in Germany, and his name was George Fletcher, and he loved the Germans. And his line of trenches, he was serving with a Welsh battalion in 1914 at Christmas, and he was actually really close to the enemy opposite. And in the weeks running up to Christmas, he kind of went on this relentless campaign, two sides to it. One was to convince his battalion commander that they should pause the war and have a Christmas. And the other was to convince the Germans, by shouting at them in German from his trench, that they should organise a party. And I think the Germans were going to get the short end of the stick, because they were supposed to bring the sausage and the beer. And George was like, we'll bring the plum pudding. But George tried to get this going, and his commanding officer told him to stop being an idiot, and the Germans weren't really that responsive. I think there was some singing backwards and forwards in the days leading up to Christmas. So when people started popping over the trenches on Christmas Day in 1914, he was a bit miffed because nothing really happened on his front with the Welsh battalion. So he went for a wander. So he wandered down to a Scottish battalion next door, and actually that's where he experienced the Christmas Truce. And yes, there were men running around with a football, and I think he swapped business cards with some Germans. They had a chat, they shared some cigarettes, and then it kind of got a bit rowdy, and the men were scampering in and out of each other's trenches, and he saw one of the Scotsmen kind of like lumping back towards the British trenches with a heater under his arm that he'd either stolen or a German had given him. And I think George says at that point we kind of thought there's probably a lot of future reconnaissance that might do us in going on at the moment.